Saturday, May 5th, 2018. I'd like to tell the story about when God healed me from gout. I was with Dave and the Giants. It must have been 1982-ish. And traveling some with them and living in the studio with Rayburn and Claiborne, and right next to the studio was a trailer, and a family lived in the trailer. Buddy Rush and his wife Willie, and Buddy played the mandolin on Everybody Loves a Rose, and he always complained about heart problems, and then years later he died of a heart attack. Willie was his wife, and they had two little girls. Tina, she was about 5, and Angel was about 2. Angel was missing part of her arm. She had like 3/4 of her arm. Little sweetheart. Well, Willie was a cook. Man, she cooked, and she cooked Southern. And we were always overeating at Buddy and Willie's trailer because it was, right next to the studio. And so a lot of rich foods, black-eyed peas and whatever she cooked. But anyways, I don't know if that's the reason, but all of a sudden I got very sick. And I would just lay in the studio, and it got to the point where Rayburn and Claiborne one day are like, "Brother Field, what's the matter?" I says, "I don't know." And I couldn't even get out of bed, could not get out of bed. So they one got under each arm, and they helped me down the spiral staircase and got me in their Volkswagen bus, and off to the hospital we went. And David met us down there, and they got IVs in me. I was dehydrated, and they said, "We don't know what's wrong, but he needs care." So they're like, "Brother Field, you need to go home and figure this out." So I got on an airplane, landed in, Midway or O'Hare in Chicago, and Mike Wilson was there to pick me up. And he says, "Man, you don't look good." I says, "I don't feel good." And they got me home and started going to the doctor to see what was wrong. And I was upstairs in the bedroom, and same room where I had my dream, and God gave me my first song. And for me, nope, I was in the room next door to it. And for me to get out of bed, walk down the steps, down to the end of the hall and take a shower, and go back the hall and up the steps and back in bed was a huge day. And then I would just be out, for 2 or 3 days. And so that's how sick I was. So they finally figured out I had gout. I had a gout, and gout is a middle-aged, overweight white man's disease. I'm 24 years old-ish, thin and healthy, and, what's the deal? So I had an extreme case of gout, and the doctor gave me medicine. I had to take 3 pills a day every 8 hours, 1 pill every 8 hours to help with the pain. And he said, "You will take this pill the rest of your life." And if it was 9 hours, I was in pain. And between the pills. And so it was every 8 hours I took it, and by the 8th hour I was feeling it. So I went back to Mississippi, was traveling with the guys now again and opening for them and taking my pills 3 times a day. And we were in this little church, I don't know what state, Alabama or Georgia, I think. And a little bitty church, small. I mean, the sound equipment and the band took up like 1/4 of the church. And I remember Keith saying, David, we shouldn't set the whole sound system. We're going to blow these people's ears off. And David was like, Keith, like Dave was all out 100% no matter what, 30 people or, 1,000. So I opened for them. I don't remember seeing anything about health. and we're tearing down, and I was wrapping up a microphone cable. Rayburn and Claiborne were right behind me, and this little old lady walks up to me, and she walks up and she said, "You will never have to take another pill that you're taking for the rest of your life." And she turned around and walked away. And I remember that was it. And I remember standing up and, stopping with my cable while she was talking to me. I thought we were going to have a conversation, but we didn't. And I looked over, and Rayburn and Claiborne, I don't think they even heard her. And as fast as she came, she was gone. Well, it was getting late at night, and it was time for my pill. So I didn't have any faith that I was healed. It was an interesting lesson to learn because I had no faith for it. But it was the word from the Lord. And so I guess the word of the Lord overrides it. Someone had faith. She did. She had the faith. So anyways, I took my pill, and then we went to the hotel, spent the night, and I get up the next morning, and I remember reaching up for my bottle of pills that the first thing I did, because by the morning I was in pain, and it's like my right elbow didn't hurt, and my hand didn't hurt, my knees didn't hurt, my feet didn't hurt, my foot. Well, that's odd, because I remember the lady said that, and like, wow. So anyways, I could have taken a pill, but I didn't. I figured, well, I'll just take one here in a little bit when it starts hurting. And time came for the next pill, and I was fine. Oh, so then the next day, I'm perfectly fine. The next week, and I got those pills ready to go. Anyways, about 2 months went by, something like that. It was a while, and I thought, I believe God's healed me. And I remember taking my pills down the spiral stairway into the sound room to the left, the little half bath, and turning the water on in the sink and dumping my pills down the sink. And that was the end of it. And I've never had another issue with gout. And there's a reminder, my right foot, my big toe, there's a big knot sticking out that happened when I had gout, and it never left. And to me, it's a reminder of what God did for me. And my knobby right foot, I'm kind of proud of it. So that's my story of when the gout came out. Without a doubt, there's no reason to pout. And that's all I have to say about that.